We are less than a week away from the shut of the transfer window, this interesting transfer window that we're having. So time to get the opinions of Mark Ogden on some of the rumors that have been floating around in this edition of Transfer Radar. Oggy, let's start off with somewhere that hits close to your location. Manchester City, Zinchenko is there. And while we all think he's definitely a quality player, that's probably why Barcelona might have some interest in him. Word is he could be going there. What do you make of this move?
Well, if Zinchenko goes to Barcelona, it kind of explains the situation Barcelona are in right now, because he's not even Man City's first choice left back. He's very much kind of a squad player at City. They've got an issue at left back with obviously Mendy hasn't really kicked on. Zinchenko isn't really rated by Pep. So if Barca want Zinchenko, it shows that the financial trouble they've got at the moment, that they see him as the best option at left back. He's a decent player, but he's not a Barcelona standard player. He's not a Man City standard player. But you know, if he gets to move to Barcelona, good luck to him. It'll be a great move. But I don't think it shows that Barca are strengthening their defensive options by signing Zinchenko. It's just adding a squad player for me.
And speaking of strengthening defensive options, that's something that we know Jose Mourinho definitely wants to do at Spurs. They have been linked with Skriniar from Inter Milan. Spoke to Stevie Nicol last week. He said this makes sense. But they've also now been linked with Antonio Rudiger from Chelsea. I mean, this kind of does make sense, doesn't it, Augie? Considering Rudiger has yet to feature for Chelsea, surely he has to be looking elsewhere, and it won't be that far up a trip.
Yeah, I mean, Skriniar was a player that Mourinho looked at when he was the Man United manager, so there's obviously a long-term interest in him, and he's still at Inter Milan, so I guess he'd be a player that could be gettable at a decent fee. Rudiger's interesting because obviously Rudiger had that incident at Tottenham last season when he accused the Tottenham fans of racially abusing him, and that came to nothing. And there's a lot of bitterness on his part of the way it ended. So, you know, that might be an issue for Rudiger to go to Tottenham, because it didn't go well, that situation, and it remained kind of unresolved. So obviously Rudiger's available because Chelsea can't accommodate him right now in the team. I think he'd be a good buy for somebody, but I don't know. I think there's too much history there with Tottenham, between the clubs and Rudiger himself, for that one to happen.
And finally, Rhian Brewster, very highly rated youngster at Liverpool. It's not often that we get to speak about links to go to Sheffield United, but here is one because, like I said, really highly rated, but how does he get into this quality Liverpool squad that we already see? Where is that he could be going to Sheffield with a buyback clause for Liverpool? Does this move just make sense?
I think it makes a lot of sense because, you know, first of all, Liverpool have just signed Diogo Jota. He scored a great goal for Liverpool against Arsenal on Monday night. So obviously he goes ahead of Brewster in the pecking order. You've also got Minamino, who came during the winter. So, and then you've got people like Divock Origi. So there's a real kind of queue to get into the team at Liverpool. So if you're Rhian Brewster, you look at what's happened at Sheffield United. You look at Dean Henderson, the way that he, you know, built his career there before going back to Man United. It's a great club to, you know, use as a platform without being disrespectful to Sheffield United. It's a great opportunity for young players to go to a club, play in the Premier League, and if they are as good as their potential suggests, then maybe getting a move to a bigger club, and then Sheffield United benefit, because if that happens, they get a decent fee. So I think everybody wins, and Sheffield United needs some reinforcements. They've had a bad start to the season, so you know, Brewster's got a great talent. He did well at Swansea last season. So I think it worked for both parties, for all parties.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.